Hi, my name's Scott. I've been riding for 19 years, so I regard myself as a really experienced rider. So last September, I was on a ride out with a group. Day wasn't very favourable for us, but we still went for the ride, but the conditions started to improve. As we went out for the ride, the weather wasn't the best, as I said in the beginning, and we decided to pull over at a cafe and discuss what we were going to do for the day. A lot of us decided maybe we should go back, and at the end of the day, we decided as a group to carry on the ride. So we took the ride from Stokesley and we were heading to a place called Richmond in North Yorkshire. The ride was a normal ride. The roads were a bit wet, but nothing that was extreme for the day. I've ridden in worse weather. I'd ridden in hail, snow and sleet, and really cloudy days and foggy days. So this type of day was not really anything out of the norm. So I got to Richmond and we carried on a ride, the 12 of us, and we headed into a place outside Richmond called Leyburn. Now I've ridden this road thousands and thousands of times in all weathers. So we know how to ride the road and what conditions would affect us when we ride this road. So one of the bends that I came off on, the previous bend to that is a bend that I never like. I've ridden it thousands of times. I don't like this bend. This bend always feels like it's going to catch me out. So I always prepare myself in a condition where I slow the bike right down to get around this right arm bend. But what I didn't know was on that day, because the road was a little bit moist and wet, that when I hit the left hand bend to carry on to my destination where I was going, I hit some diesel. I lost control of my front wheel, which in turn slid me across the road. I managed to regain control of my bike. I ended up on a grass verge, which then in turn put me into a field. I was doing about 35 miles an hour. I had the group of riders behind me. I had a rider behind me, which was probably about 5 or 6 meters behind me.
I was third rider. Lad was in front of me. And I just remember, as I was coming around the bend, I saw brake lights. Now, the bend that we go around, we normally slow down anyway because there's a fork in the road. But this was a little bit unusual. And I remember just seeing Scott sort of brake and then carry on forward, which was really bizarre because where's he going? Because we're not going to Reeth, we're heading around Leyburn. It was all really slow motion for me because as I came around the bend, I'm kind of looking over and I just see Scott going this way and I'm like, where's he going?
In turn, I went over the grass, I hit a divot in the ground, which in turn threw me over the fence and the bike ploughed through the fence. I had the REALRIDER app running, which I have it running all the time, and it's never gone off. I've never been in a situation where the app has actually gone off. But I had it running as I do every time I ride. So I hit the fence, I landed on the ground, and I could hear the app going off in my headset. I was connected to my phone through my headset. I was in a lot of pain. I damaged my ribs in my back. So at the time I wasn't sure what injuries I had, but I knew I was in a lot of pain.
And all I heard was just this, ow, ugh. Because obviously I could hear him in the headset and it was unbelievable. It was like slow motion seeing him just go through this fence and then get thrown. And I could hear him hit the ground and I literally, I was so scared because I remember thinking, I still have flashbacks now, just hearing him hit the ground and his moans and stuff. And I thought, oh my God, I thought the worst. I thought he was going to die.
The group of riders that caught up that were with us, with me, had actually stopped. I got up off the floor. It was just a big blur. It happened in such a split second. I could still hear the countdown going down in my head from the intercom. And I was just basically glad that there was people there with me. But I knew that the emergency services were going to be coming, the ambulance service was going to be coming to me and actually going to help me because I did need help. But what it really made me think about was that if I'd have been riding that road on my own, what the outcome would have been if I'd crashed and I was on my own and I'd been knocked unconscious and I didn't have the ability to call the ambulance service. That was the biggest scary moment for me, to be honest. Put me in a position where I'm not invincible, and it made me very vulnerable from that perspective, that I knew that I had this app that no matter what, it was going to protect me and stop me being left alone in a ditch. So I knew that whatever happened, even if I could answer a call from the ambulance service or I was unconscious, I knew somebody was going to turn up and help me. Obviously, in my situation, I was lucky. I had 12 other guys with me that were looking after me. The ambulance turned up. They took me in, they examined me and checked me over. I had the right kit on, so I was very lucky that I was wearing the right kit to actually do the ride and for the conditions. And then when the ambulance checked me over, checked my blood pressure, checked everything else, they advised me to go to hospital, and I went to hospital. And my colleagues, my riders, my rider buddies I was with took care of my bike. It doesn't matter what your experience and how long you've been riding, knowing that Real Rider, this tech, has your back and will protect you is life-changing and life-saving.